All right. Holy shit. The gang is fucking back. The boys are back together again. As you can see, all my YouTube subscribers, all my new ones, I guess. You may not know that Mike is an OG of the pod, but
OG.
OG, man. Welcome back, Mike, Mondi. What's going on, man? X-Men 97 today. There's a lot to fucking discuss. A
It
fucking
is.
lot. So
Yeah.
let's get into it, man. I'm
Mike
ready.
is Mike is
All
my favorite guest. Sorry to all the guests that are listening that we've had before. Mike is my favorite one. I love Mike. All right, so
Yeah.
guys, like Julian said, this is an X-Men 97 pod. First, I'm gonna kind of just loop it around, and I just want us to give our review of the season as a whole, and then after we do that individually, we can kind of get into like the nitty gritty and like moments in the show and stuff like
That was
that
so
and
cool.
themes. But first, I just want to give our overall review on this first season. So, who wants to go
Okay.
first? I can go first. Doesn't matter.
Let's let Mike go first. Let's get him reintroduced to our audience, and let's let them know that this nigga don't play no games. So, Mike, it's on you, man.
All
What
right,
do you
so
think
look,
about X-Men 97? Let's go.
as a peep game. So like, I thoroughly enjoyed this season. All right, I don't like the. I guess I don't like the length of it, but I understand that's the way that everybody's doing things nowadays. Disney's doing their 10-episode thing. Amazon's doing their 8-episode thing. So I get it. I feel like it could have went on a little longer for a season. I don't really necessarily like where it left off at because now it seems like everyone's trying to do like the anime model, and it's like this is an anime, this is a 90s cartoon, and you got the people from the 90s that watched it watching it currently, so maybe need to follow up on previous models. I do like, I love the interactions between the characters. I love that it was made for a little more of an adult audience. I like that when they brought it back, they didn't bring it back and were like, "Hey, no, we're trying to get the kids into X-Men now." No, you can make a new show for that shit. All right. I love that they kept the OG animation, so they can't complain about, oh, it costs too much to animate. No, this is 90s animation. You can go ahead and do that shit. And I love that they kept the certain animating styles within the animation.
What do you mean by that?
Inception.
What I mean by that is one of the things that they did in the originals is they made the women look like women.
Okay.
And I'm glad that they stuck to their guns and they made the women look like women.
Okay.
Wait, hold on. Push it back. Rogue was thick. We know that in the 90s cartoon.
Yes.
How do you feel about her not being thick anymore?
All right, so she still got curves, but as thick. All right, I get it. You might need to dial it back a little bit, but I mean, for the most part, like they didn't go crazy with it. I mean, I still hate Jean's suit, but that's another thing.
Okay. So
okay. Grade real quick, Mike. What's your grade on the series? Like me and Julian do ABC scale. What's your grade?
Oh damn! Do I have to?
You don't have to. Right. You don't want to.
Call it. I don't know. Maybe it's nostalgia and all that, but I feel like for me personally, it's an A. It might be a nostalgia thing, but I feel like it's an A.
Okay. All right. Go ahead, Monty. I'm very interested to hear your thoughts, man.
Okay, cool. So, like, the idea of this show continuing 20 years later is just nuts to me. It's so far-fetched, and I was so happy that they were able to bring this back the way that they were able to, in the fashion that they were able to. We have the OG voice actors for the most part. We have the iconic opening, that iconic theme song. If you skip that theme song, I don't trust you. I mean, it's just... like, it gets me going every time. I want to shout out the showrunner of the show, Bo DeMaio. Is he a 69 god? We don't know yet. I know he's been fired recently, but Marvel, if this guy didn't kill somebody or do anything crazy, please bring him back. He's a freak. Okay, who cares? He has a complete handle on this franchise and on this show. Fun fact: he's the second black showrunner. The 90s show was also had a black male as a showrunner as well. So shout out to us. Love that. But yeah, this show was able to just seamlessly kind of pick up where it left off, which is such a feat within itself. I mean, within the first episode, Cyclops having the iconic line, like I was already hooked when he said, "Storm, give him the forecast," and then Storm comes in and Omega level
threat detected.
I said, "Oh!" I literally jumped up and down, and I was like, "Yes, we are going to be in good hands from here on out." I knew it from right there, and I think the show does a really good job at basically appealing to why X-Men fans love X-Men from their initial debut in the comic books, which is that we all feel different to some capacity. Like we all feel like an outsider to some extent, some to other extents, to lower extents to others as well. But if you want to get real nitty gritty in particular, there's two demographics that the X-Men really parallel their themes to, and that's the Black community and the LGBTQ plus community as well. And I think that the showrunners did a really good job at kind of understanding that, and that made the show, that much better for it, in my opinion. I think that I love how every single member of the team was able to shine and have their moment. It felt like an X-Men show.
Every member?
I say except for like maybe Morph and Bishop, the two characters. Now Wolverine. Now I want to say this. I was happy that other characters were getting shine, like Jubilee, Gambit, Storm, whatever. Now I was happy that Wolverine was kind of in the backdrop at first. I was like, yeah, you know what? We see enough Wolverine in live action over the last 20 years and whatever. But towards the back half of the season, which I'll get into a little later on, I did start feeling the need to want more Wolverine. I mean, like, we love him for a reason. We want to see Wolverine for a reason, So that was the only thing that kind of bothered me. My biggest complaint with the show is one thing is that there are so many iconic X-Men storylines that were kind of squeezed into this one season. We got the Madeline Pryor Goblin Queen stuff, Cable and Bishop, Magneto and Rogue, the Genosha stuff, the Bastion stuff, where it felt like a lot of those storylines, the Mojo stuff, felt rushed or didn't have time to breathe. And I feel like maybe the creators of the show didn't know that, hey, are we going to have the chance to get more than one season? If not, let's just pack it all in here. And I felt like the show did kind of falter at times because a lot of those storylines within themselves could be the focus of their own season within itself. Like they're that iconic in the comic books. And that's the only kind of complaint that I had, which is kind of big though. I mean, but we saw it episodes 8, 9, and 10 when they had the time to really kind of tell a continuous story, it shines and it's at its best in my opinion. So hopefully moving forward, they can learn from that and not feel the need to squeeze in every single thing. Overall, the show was fantastic. I gave it a B+. I think it's really, really good. I think that I wonder how fans of the show will like people who are kids, should I say, who had no kind of context will like this show at all. I wonder if they'll appreciate it as much as we do, who grew up on it, or maybe just newcomers who had no context to the 90s show. But yeah, I'm excited to kind of get into this more. But yeah, I think it's a really great. I think it's gonna have like a ripple effect in the industry. I think more animators and Marvel will start to be like, okay, this formula works. These people want nostalgia. Let's hammer it down, and almost to its detriment. But right now, I'm loving it. So yeah, Julian, please give me your thoughts.
Holy shit, that was a long review. All right, so Mondi,
really?
He didn't put a letter grade on it either.
He did. He said it B+. B+.
Okay, all right.
So yeah, look, I obviously really enjoyed this show too. I'd be lying if I said that I did not, but I am going to start off with the negative. As I often say, most of the time when you say anything positive, you don't really have to defend it because it's positive. It's like, yeah, okay, cool. But when it's negative, you literally have to spend time and be like, okay, well, this is why I didn't like this thing. The Wolverine thing really bothered me throughout the entirety of this series, or excuse me, this first season, because obviously there's going to be more. But there is that argument that we have gotten so much of Wolverine in live action and animation. There was literally a series that came out 2011 called Wolverine and the X-Men. Like it got to the point where like the X-Men were like the background and it was all about Wolverine. I love that series, by the way. It's actually really good. If you guys go back and watch it, it came on Nickelodeon. Really with Stephen Blum doing Wolverine, who to me is still like a really great Wolverine voice actor. Anyway, yeah, I needed my Wolverine, brother. Like I didn't get it. Like it's just a super weird choice to give him nothing. I could understand having him do
he had some
a small storyline and do and maybe we're just on the hook about that throughout this season, but 99% of the time it was just Wolverine doing nothing. And that was my biggest problem with this show. I can appreciate other characters getting screen time. Cyclops has never looked as cool as he has in this one season. It was cool getting all the Gambit, the Rogue, the Magneto. Of course, we can't do anything without Magneto. It's cool. We're getting Xavier off world. Like all that stuff is cool, but give me what I want. I want all that stuff too. But like I also want Wolverine. And there were plenty of times, like you said, Mondi, in this season where I was like, okay, there's a lull here. Maybe we need some like let's juice it up somehow. Like he can fit right here. and it just never happened. So that's my only real complaint about this series. A smaller complaint would be the animation. The animation was an interesting choice because they did decide to just continue on with the 97 animation. Obviously, it was tuned up to meet the quality and standards of 2024, but it was a little ugly at times. I'm not gonna lie. It was a little ugly. Like I guess I'm just spoiled with like all the anime I watch and seeing how beautiful it is now and seeing how far it's come from that point to now. But it was a little ugly at points. But it didn't take me out of the show. So now we can get into all the good shit. Yeah. There's so many moments, so many iconic voice lines, so many great character stuff. Magneto shined, man, from the moment he was on the screen until the end of the goddamn season. Like this fucking guy, he's just so interesting. And like it just seemed like the creators really knew that they were really going to focus on him, which is great. He's a great character to focus on. As far as like the story beats and like the whole Bastion thing, it was fine. We've seen it before, so it was cool. But overall, I do think that this is like a landmark for Marvel Television. I think that this series is going to be very, very important moving forward. And yeah, I mean, all the spinoffs. I mean, bring back Spider-Man, bring back Fantastic Four. I mean, we saw so many cameos of so many characters throughout this season. So bring them all back. I want them all.
You have a grade for the season?
This even even with all that complaining, this was still an A. This is still a fantastic. This is the best show I've watched this year. This is still the best TV show I've watched this year. It's still absolutely fantastic. I think for old and new alike, my mom, who watched this show with me when I was a kid, watched this and she was like, "Holy shit, this is great." So, yeah.
Okay, excellent.
Also watch this with us again.
Yeah,
Nice.
that's dope.
Love that. My mom would never. So I'm jealous of you guys. Yeah, so in terms of like just our tidbits and like moments in the show, we can kind of just snake it around because I know we all have moments that we kind of want to touch on, of course. And even though like let's say Mike brings up a moment, we can still add in our thoughts on that moment. But we'll start with Mike, Julian, and then myself in terms of Mike. So just give me, one moment at a time, and we can kind of just dive into it. I think it's gonna be a fun, open discussion.
Oh, so it's me first?
Mike?
Okay.
Mike.
Yeah.
Mike. Yes.
Y'all not hear me?
Are you listening to me?
Okay. Yes, I am. I guess.
Yeah, I hear you.
Lag? I don't know. All right. So, one moment of the show.
I mean, if you don't have one, I mean,
Bro,
like
it would have
it's a
to be
free-flowing
so.
conversation.
All right,
but
so
just
for me,
kinda
it's
give
kind of
everybody
two.
a chance.
For me, it's kind of two, right? So the first one is when they came to the UN meeting and they tried to take Magneto's powers by shooting him. Storm jumps in the way and Magneto reacts, right? So when he took everybody up in the air, I was like, that's it. We about to get it. He about to go ahead and kill all of them, start the war, slaughter everything. Then the man goes ahead and he says, nah, like, I'm going to give it Charles Wade and I'm going to show y'all love and show y'all compassion and be forgiving and everything, even though you just completely wronged one of our people like that. I was like, I love that moment. It showed the growth. And then the second one I loved was when Storm got her powers back and she got that fly suit and she's flying through there and there's like tornadoes and storms everywhere. And I'm like, this is the Omega level mutant I'm talking about.
Yeah. Storm easily had like the best animation in basically every one of her power scenes because it's just like it's almost like a cheat code because like her powers and animation, you can just go wild with it. Like it's not hard to make her look cool as fuck. So yeah, I agree. Is this before I give a moment, it's interesting that this series tackles obviously the X-Men try to mirror real life events and just real life, and there's so much of that in that peace and forgiveness and doing things the quote unquote right way versus Magneto's more non-tolerant way. And I don't know, man, it kind of sends like a mixed message in my opinion, because obviously good must prevail in the end and peace and prosperity, blah blah blah, but I think the show made Magneto seem like he was right so many times. Like we shouldn't tolerance is extinction. We should not try to like commingle with these fuckers. Like we need to kill them all. But maybe that's just a little too radical. So anyway, a moment. The easiest moment for me is to start with the intro. Like Monty mentioned, the theme song is just so iconic, man. Just hearing it just brought me back to being fucking 5 years old. And seeing Cyclops like that little dance he was doing with his beams, like in the first episode, he was like, I was like, what the fuck? What? This nigga juking niggas with the beams. That shit was crazy. And then of course the iconic fly down scene where he's just like, all right, y'all got it. You cool? All right, cool. All right, bitch. I'll see y'all on the ground, bitch. Bitch. The fuck y'all think, nigga? I don't need no help, nigga. I can't fly. Me. Like, what the fuck? Like, this nigga was going crazy. Well, I was just like, ah! So, yeah.
I know it's clear to us probably because we're fans of X-Men, but for people who are listening who may not be familiar, Cyclops' beams are so cool because his optic blasts are not heat at all. It's just literally concussive force. So sometimes people wonder, like, how can he? What are you?
Such a fucking nerd. It's just concussive force, guys. He can open up a portal to another dimension. Like, shut up.
Anyways, for people who might be worried, like, how can he blast that guy and he survive? Like, he can alter the. That's why he's such a nerd. He can alter the intensity of the beam, and so that's how he's able to kind of land with the beam as well. Like, it's not heat vision at all. It's no heat at all. It's just literally just a force of just like intense, like just like a push, basically. So just to kind of give you guys some context. So
who the fuck thought that this nigga was shooting heat vision?
A lot of people online. A lot of people. Yeah, me too. Okay. As a child, I thought that too.
You thought it was heat vision? All right.
Look, it's like laser vision. It's red. You thought it's a laser.
Yeah, beam. like Superman. I thought it was like the exact same thing.
Yeah, basically, and especially since they told you early on that his power comes from absorbing sunlight. I was like, oh, so he's taking sunlight and he's shooting out of his eyes now.
Thank you, Mike. Julian trying to play. He was 5 years old. Like, oh, that's how he can cut, of course.
Right, but you're the nerd, right?
Right.
It's clearly different.
It's clearly concussive. Anyway,
go ahead, Monty. Go ahead.
So my moment is more so just a theme in the show. Like I said, I kind of touched on earlier, which I'll piggyback off what Julian said. Like, there's so many times in the show where they had that mirror or that parallel to Black people into LGBTQ community, and there are just 3 lines I just want to point out real quick that I thought were just direct references to our plight. Number one would be when Jean early in the season was kind of telling Storm on the bed, she was like, she was scared for her baby to be born into a world where like everyone would kind of judge him for who he is. And I thought Storm was gonna be like, you mean like a Black person? But they ain't go that far. But I felt like Storm was on the tip of her tongue to say that. But once again, that's like a direct parallel to us. I think it was another one is when Xavier was teaching the Shi'ar about coexistence and how it can be done. That was just once again like another kind of thing, kind of back in the day when Black people were trying to integrate with white people and stuff like that, and how we can definitely coexist. It doesn't have to be this beef. Or when Scott told the interviewer after Genosha, he said mutants are nothing like you, and thank God, because the only reason that you guys are still alive is because we aren't like you. Mm-hmm. That's like direct like Malcolm X kind of shit. Like, I love that kind of parallels to, like I said, to reality. I think X-Men has always thrived off of that thematic kind of theme with them. So yeah,
for sure, bro. There was a lot of bars in there. It's so funny. Like Magneto himself is he's such like this poor guy. Like he's fucking been through it, man. Like from being a fucking in a concentration camp, being his parents were murdered in front of his eyes, and how many people he's lost along the way. I mean, at this point, he's lost Mystique. They showed Wanda and Pietro. For some reason, they were really honing in on the fact that Wanda's off-world. So I guess we'll find out about that. And then, he's losing Rogue, which was a crazy development. So for somebody like myself that does not read the comics, that was like a really weird. It was pretty weird. I'm not gonna lie. I'm just like, wait, they're fucking each other.
I have no idea which comic that came from.
Yeah. And it's weird because like everybody on Twitter reads the comic books, I guess. So, if you see one thing, like there's like a million comments under it talking about, well, I did not know that. What do you mean? Like, this is issue number 37. Like, shut the fuck up, you fucking dorks. So anyway, like, but yeah, man, it was like super weird. I mean, I'm actually glad that they explained it somewhat. But Rogue was interesting to me throughout this series. She seemed to try to act like she was really heartbroken about what happened to Gambit, just because I think that was like the right thing to do, like in public. But yeah, she was like a real slut to me. Like she was like actually trying to cry about Gambit when she really wanted to fuck Magneto the entire time. So fuck her. Just wanted to say that.
I'm not gonna lie, she did come off as a thought
Choose
pocket.
between Gambit and Omega level mutant. Come on now, what are we doing?
That's not fair.
Anyway,
It's about love.
That's like
That's not,
me.
yeah, that's not fair.
Anyways, and last parallel I want to do is the Sunspot thing with his family when he came out as a mutant. That's like obviously like the LGBT, like kind of like Iceman and X2. But Mike, did you have anything that you wanted to add? Any moment?
Another moment?
What to say? He already gave a moment. You want to do another moment?
We are snaking around because I have a lot of moments I want to talk about. We're kind of. If you don't have any moments, that's cool.
Hey, no, it's cool. So first of all, I do want to touch on that theme again, the theme song, because the first thing I noticed with that theme song, they added some drums at the beginning to bring it in, and bro, that hyped me up. It got me on fire. That's why I got to listen to it every time.
Niggas love their drums.
Exactly. But it wasn't like a bunch of bass, bro. But
yeah,
no, I love that drum. Like, yeah.
I love that drum.
I did. So what I liked was I did like that they made Rogue a little more gritty in this one because she was
they did.
She tried to kill was old dude. In fact, she really killed him.
I'm about to say what you mean. Tried. She let that nigga go.
But she really killed him.
Yeah.
I was glad to see that they were not scared to go ahead and not to get somebody up out of here.
I mean, there was so many jokes on Twitter about how all the X-Men just kind of stood there, like they could have, like Nightcrawler could have saved him.
Yeah,
because they didn't want to save him. That's what it was. Yeah. They knew what it was. They didn't want to.
They're just like, okay, bitch, you're mad. Nah, that shit was crazy.
What they gonna do? Was they gonna run up and touch her? You gonna go grab her? What you gonna do?
Right.
Nightcrawler could have teleported him away, but whatever.
Jean could have got him. Storm could have used some wind. Wait, was Storm there at that moment? I'm not sure.
I don't think she was. She didn't have her powers at that moment.
She didn't have her powers.
Oh, okay.
They really took her out the entire season.
Yeah.
Is it because you guys think that was because she was too powerful, like for certain situations?
Probably.
Probably because they basically already showed that we're gonna show off how powerful she is. So I think it wouldn't have made sense to in the beginning show like, this Omega level threat that can do damage, and we're gonna have her here. Except all these events are gonna happen anyway, even though she's here. So it kind of makes sense that they got her up out of there, put her through some adversity or whatever, and made her a little side story.
It's like it's like what they used to do with Superman in Justice League. Like he would only be in like 1 in every 5 episodes because you can't fucking have Superman stopping a bank robbery. Like, what are we doing here?
He is the answer.
Yeah. So
yeah, like that's the exact reason why Superman died at the end of BVS because they knew like if Justice League movie it would be over in 5 minutes.
Yep. Anyway. And it fucking was when he showed the fuck up. So
it was though.
Julian, you got a moment or a theme you want to touch on?
Yeah, man. I think we could talk about some of the cameos that we've seen throughout this season, man. It was just
expanded the universe, yeah.
Yeah, I mean the one that I'm not gonna lie. Okay, look, it was cool seeing Spider-Man 98. It was cool. I was like, oh shit, like okay, like let's fucking do it. When I saw that motherfucking shield, bitch. When I saw that motherfucking shield, I was like, what the fuck? Not my nigga Cap. Yes, sir. My nigga Cap. Where I was like, let's go, baby. Let's go. Yeah. I don't give a fuck. He's still my nigga. It was cool seeing the Daredevil in his old 90s costume. I still love that. It was cool seeing King T'Chaka. And was that Okoye with him? I don't know. Looked like her from the back. I know her back.
Okay.
And when we saw
Dr. Doom.
I thought it was Doctor Strange. I didn't see Dr. Doom, did I?
It was him too. No, Doom was in there earlier. Yeah, earlier in the season. On like a TV screen when he was doing his thing. We saw who else? We saw Hulk. Well, we didn't see. We saw General Ross, who referenced Hulk, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, we saw Morph turn into a bunch of niggas like Mr. Fantastic. What's the nigga that the nigga with the helmet who runs through everything? Juggernaut. Thank you. I can never remember his fucking name for some reason. He turned into Angel, which was cool. No, what the fuck he's doing?
Archangel.
No, he turned into Angel.
Oh, he turned into Angel?
I'm talking about Morph.
I know. I thought he turned into Archangel.
Oh, I don't remember. And we saw Iron Man. Like, what the fuck? Like, like what the heck? Like, there's just so many crazy cameos. To me, I mean, especially in the finale, it kind of just felt like they were just like, like you said, like if we never get another season,
let's just do it.
We're gonna give them a fucking reason to at least think about it. And it worked because like I now want. And first of all, I never watched the fucking OG Iron Man series. I don't give a fuck about that. I want it now, bitch. I don't give a fuck about like I didn't give a fuck about the Fantastic Four series. Like I want it. It is like an animation.
I hate the Iron Man suit. It's so ugly.
Yeah, it was not.
Yeah, but yeah, go ahead. Sorry, Monty.
No, but speaking of Morph though, like I kind of didn't like Morph only because I didn't like him, or I didn't like them, should I say? Because they just kind of used him to just give us these X-Men cameos of characters that I actually really wanted to see. Like I really wanted to see Quicksilver have more time. I really wanted to see Juggernaut have more time. I think he turned into Sabretooth as well. I want to see these characters. Like I don't want to just see. I don't want to just see him.
Don't say Sabretooth around Mike. God damn it! Don't say Sabretooth around.
I don't want to see. I don't want to see those characters for like a 5 seconds. And also just for clarity for Morph's powers, guys. When he turns into these characters like the Hulk or whatever, he's not really actually turning into them. His ability is that he can kind of mimic what their power set would be. So he's like a very like less stronger version of the Hulk, or a less stronger version of Juggernaut. He's just kind of mimicking the visual appearance, I guess, and I guess through his analogy or in biology, like the kind of the power sets as well. So another nerdy moment for me there. I love when Cyclops gets mad in this show, like his little bicycles, like the little gleam, like little like just like those kind of little touches I kind of love a lot. And also I love when Cyclops like he's like a combo with Bishop, like in like episode 4 or something like that, like episode 3, the Madeline Pryor, where he just charges Bishop up with his beams, and then Bishop is able to kind of like redirect the energy. But then that kind of begs the question to me, like, what the fuck is Bishop for? Like, if Cyclops could just do that himself, why do we need him to like?
Because Bishop amplifies what he takes in.
So okay, well, I figured it was something like that. Yeah. I figured it was something like that. But yeah, Bishop just seems like if no one's hitting them with no kind of electricity or no kind of energy, he just got them guns. Like, bitch,
yeah.
Bishop said, "Pull up on O Block."
Right.
Yeah.
He needs some kind of energy around him for him to be any kind of useful, in my opinion. But yeah.
Yeah. Let's Mike, hold on. I want to talk about like the 3 kind of major storylines that were in this thing. So one of them was the Madeline Pryor thing, one of them was the Genosha thing, and then one of them was the finale with Bastion and all that. So give me your thoughts on the whole Madeline Pryor thing. Again, oh shit, that scared the fuck out of me. Sorry. Again, as somebody that never read the comics, I had no idea who this bitch was. So when she showed up at the end of episode 2, I was just like, oh, there's a clone. There's 2 Jean Greys, one's from the future. And then all the fucking X-Men nerds, you don't know who Madeline Pryor is? She was, shut the fuck up. Fucking
That's
dorks.
why I stay off of X, bro.
Yeah, I should have. It's my fault. I should have known better. But yeah, give me your thoughts on the Madeline Pryor thing. Do you think it ran its course? Do you think that it was a successful adaptation as comic book readers yourselves? What do you guys think?
Mike?
Oh, yeah, I ain't know shit about Madeline Pryor. I'll be real with
you. Good.
So when it happened in the series, I was like, oh, there's a clone of Jean Grey. Yeah. All right, that makes sense because I had just rewatched the X-Men before the original show. I was like, oh, that makes sense because he did, snatch them up, and in every series they always have him snatching up Jean Grey or Jean and Cyclops because he wants to go ahead and make the perfect mutant combo baby or whatever. And so for that to happen, I was like, all right, that kind of makes sense. But I feel like it was rushed so much because as soon as you found out it was Madeline,
she was gone.
In one episode, it was like evil Madeline who just got then you free her from the control, Sinister. And then Sinister. I almost call her Syndrome. I had to figure up too.
Hell no.
Yeah. So you want to free her from Mr. Sinister, then you save the baby, but don't save the baby, all in the same episode, and then she's gone in like another episode. I was like, it felt that part, it was rushed. That felt like for me, the whole Sinister storyline could have been the first season.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, hard to disagree. What do you think, Monty?
Yeah, I totally agree with what Mike said. That's why I said in my review, like there are some iconic storylines. Like me, I did have a lot of knowledge about the Madeline Pryor storyline, and so that within itself could have been like at least a whole season, like dedicated to that, because she is the mother of Cable, and there's just a lot of other stuff that goes into that with the whole Mr. Sinister stuff. I feel like Mr. Sinister was also kind of sidetracked. And I mean, I get, they kind of like set him up early, be like, oh, he's the big bad, but it was Bastion. But Mr. Sinister is that guy in the comics. Like, he kind of deserves his own arc as well. So the fact that he was kind of subservient to Bastion, I get it, but it did kind of make me a little like, oh man, I wanted a Sinister kind of, to be like the main focus as well.
So my only counter to that is Mr. Sinister was very prevalent in the original X-Men cartoon from the 90s. Like, this nigga was all over it. This nigga's a little freakazoid too. Like, what the fuck is wrong with this nigga? Like,
oh yeah, real deal freak.
Yeah, like Mr. Sinister is a fucking weirdo. Oh my god.
He is.
But
and speaking of him, he's going to be apparently rumored to be the main villain of the X-Men when it comes to the MCU. He's going to be the Mr. Sinister. They actually teased him in that New Mutants movie, but which never came to fruition after that. But yeah. And your other question was the Genosha arc was really cool. That within itself could have also been its own season, But to me, that led to like the best episode in the season, which is episode 5, was just outstanding. With the Gambit thing, bruh. Like when they first landed on Genosha, like that was the club. They just partying, dancing, and then just to kind of see the dark transition to how it ended, I was like, damn. Like Gambit went out like a straight up G, bro. Like. Gambit is Rexplode from Invincible times 10. Like, he's the OG. I love Gambit. I love his personality. So yeah, I love that. I love that Genosha arc. I wish it was longer. And the last arc, the Bastion one, was also really good as well.
Okay, I guess we'll just wait to give our thoughts, Monty. Jesus Christ, can we all give our thoughts? Yeah, is that okay with you? Are you sure?
Sorry.
Jesus Christ.
Carry away.
This nigga Monty's like, I'm so excited. Okay, guys, Genosha. Yeah, I didn't like it. I was
what, episode 5 you didn't like?
Let me finish my thoughts, please. I was so caught up in this other place that they were in. I was happy. I was like, okay, cool. Like, you guys can stay over there. Like, you've got your own thing here. Cool. And then it just went away. Like, it just turned so fast, just like that. No warning. They just got straight attacked. Gambit ended up sacrificing himself. Throughout the entirety of the season, I was convincing myself that there's no way that he's dead. But now, I mean, with the finale and the time travel, they're going to bring him back. So whatever. But yeah, I mean, I didn't love them just losing like that. It's kind of weird for like this style of show to just have them just lose. Like they got their ass beat. Like all of them, like everybody that was there was down.
What's wrong with that?
I mean,
like,
it's a sneak attack.
That happens, yeah. I mean, that happens. Like Infinity War, they lost, and that was a great movie.
Anyway.
Well, they put up a fight in Infinity War. This was an ass whooping.
Yeah, this was a massacre.
Like you said, Mike, it was a drive-by from the future.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm just saying that I wanted a more happy ending. And of course, I mean, obviously that wasn't the end. But yeah, I just wasn't the biggest fan of that. I was just like, this is dour. I don't want to be dour. I want to be happy.
And bunnies.
You're right. Exactly. Thank you. Okay, Mike, it's your turn to talk about Genosha. What did you think?
I think Genosha had the perfect amount of time. I know, Mondi, you said, you could make that into like its own like half season thing. I actually think it was perfect to do it the way they did. Have it basically like 2 episodes and it's done. Especially the way they finished it when they were like, yo, Sentinel from the future comes back, laser beams everybody. The thing I love most about that is when we thought Magneto died, because he stuck to his guns and, took that little Morlock kid and was like, nah, you ain't got to be afraid. And he's like, I'm about to die, but you don't got to be afraid. We about to die. And then he, restrained Rogue to keep her from trying to help. I enjoyed that. And then Gambit going out like that was a G, but I don't like him going out like that while he's sitting there talking about how much he loved Rogue after she did what she did.
Thank you. Like, what the fuck?
For me, that was some big.
Say it.
Puss ass nigga.
Yeah, say it.
Hey man,
thank you.
You sipping over a woman that just basically in your face, basically just cheated on you. You've been putting in all this work. All right.
He just a Cajun that wants some love, baby. He just wants some red beans and rice and some love, baby.
Bro, you've been putting in all this work talking about you about to get married. You've been doing this for years. This swole old dude come back and automatically. Hey, no, Magneto brolic in this show though. But you got this swole ass old dude that comes back into her life, full head of white hair and everything, and automatically she falling for this man.
Yeah,
After
that's
all
funny.
the work you've been putting in, bro, you'd have to run me this fade.
Omega
Not
level,
only
bro.
that-
And he would have lost that fade. He's like, what are we doing?
Nigga, I don't care. You gotta
That's not
run
the
me this
point.
fade.
Yeah, that's not.
Oh my god.
I
Omega level
mean,
mutant.
not only that, they were sneaking around. Like they were fucking
Exactly.
for weeks. Like fuck Rogue. Like,
And he
Morph
knew
called
it.
him out too. Like Morph
Yeah.
was like, they've been in 5 sessions got down in the danger room today.
right. That's crazy, by the way. Jesus.
And also, fun fact: that kid that Magneto saved was Leech. He's the character in X-Men 3, that little ball boy who makes the powers go away when they get near him. Just kind of a reference. That was the character Leech. Okay.
Oh, brother.
Julian, the
Finale.
Bastion arc.
Yeah. Tolerance is extinction. This was a really good 3-part finale. Usually shows have hard times sticking a landing or just trying to wrap up everything in general to make a complete season. And I think that this finale accomplished that. Because obviously you can't wrap up every single thing. You do have to leave the audience wanting for more. But the main threat at hand, which was Sebastian, his storyline, I'll be completely honest, guys, I didn't care. I think the voice actor who voiced Sebastian was great. I thought that he pretty much he gave a really good performance. But like in terms of, go ahead, Mike.
Oh, that was Theo James from the Divergent movies and from White Lotus, the voice actor for Bastion.
Shout out to Theo James. I just didn't care about this character's story arc. I didn't care about his motivation. It just didn't reach me personally. But that's in a villain, that always isn't the worst thing, because I mean, I'm not here to see them, obviously. Like, they're just a by proxy of the good guys need somebody to fight. And I completely understand that, and that's fine. Cable, I haven't talked about Cable at all. Cable was interesting in this. So again, I don't read the comics. I have really no, and I didn't see Deadpool 2. So I have really no knowledge of Cable, who he is, what his power set is, or anything like that. So he was kind of like a welcome surprise. I was like, oh shit, that's like Josh Brolin's Cable. Like, what the fuck? Like, he looked just like the nigga. So like he was a welcome addition. The whole Nathan thing was cool. Did he get temporary Phoenix powers in one of these episodes? I don't know. It's kind of weird when he was fighting Jean Grey. I don't know. But yeah, he was cool. But overall, again, I'll say the finale was really good, man. It kept me on the edge of my seat through all 3 parts. Wolverine stabbing Magneto and then Magneto actually trying to go for the jugular was crazy. I thought my nigga was dead. And again, like I'm
no try. He went for it.
Yeah, like
he went for it.
He definitely went for it.
I was so upset because I'm just like, bro, like Wolverine doesn't get anything but like one kind of cool sequence with Nightcrawler action sequence. Like he gets nothing. Like his voice actor didn't need to return for this. Like the nigga said Jean maybe 30 times and like that was his dialogue. And I'm so sick of this like Wolverine, Jean Grey, like it can go to hell. Like I'm just tired of it. But yeah, like seeing Magneto pull the vibranium from this nigga's body is crazy. Like, first of all, he just want to do that for a long fucking time, because that is a very complicated and like thought out way to kill a nigga. But I thought it was animated really well, man. And of course, all the comic book nerds. That's right from issue 57. Shut the fuck up. So yeah, I mean, it was awesome, man. I really enjoyed it. Go ahead, Monty. You're dying. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say that's also another iconic run of when Magneto pulls the adamantium from Wolverine's skeleton, which leads to Wolverine in his feral state when he has the bone claws, which I'm sure we'll see next season. Wolverine, I don't understand his like. He always trying to come at Magneto all the time. Like, I'm like, bro, do you understand your power set? And do you understand his? Like, is there like a disconnect here? Like, he literally built to destroy you. Like, can we stop talking shit to Magneto, please? Like, I don't. Maybe that's just in his nature. He's Wolverine. And also, I just want to address the fact that no one does more tampering than Magneto. He's been trying to recruit everybody from the X-Men since day one. It happens in the live action movies. It happens in the cartoons. It happens in the comics. He's like, hey, come to my side. You know, we got snacks over here. We got cars. We got money. We got bitches. Like
we got bitches.
He recruited.
Yeah.
He recruited Sunspot, Rogue, in the live action, Pyro, everybody. So yeah, like I said, iconic arc. I love the finale. I thought it was really good. And what it's leading to, which is the Age of Apocalypse, is another iconic run as well, which I'm really excited for when we got to see in Sabanoob. But Mike, please give me your thoughts on the finale.
All right, so this whole Bastion arc, right?
Uh-oh.
Nah, because I have a few mixed.
Uh-oh.
So, all right, let me start with something I don't like, right?
Okay.
What I don't like was when he pulled up all the people that Bastion was working with across the world. I didn't like that I saw like Dr. Doom on there. I didn't like some of the faces that were up on it because I was like, y'all niggas don't make any sense. Why are y'all trying to get rid of mutants? Like, you make zero sense at all. Nigga, you are especially with what really got me was Dr. Doom. Nigga, you got powers too.
Mm-hmm.
You might not be a mutant, but you are a radiated mutation and also a fucking warlock that's thousands of years old. Like, what the hell do you think this is? So I had an issue with that. The rest of it, though, I mean, I actually did like the way it went. I liked that he was basically like a descendant / fusion of Nimrod and everything, moved through to making basically biomechanical sentinel people, everything. It was a nice little touch. You know, it was a nice little touch. It went well. All right, so side note, what the fuck is Jubilee? Because like she gets all this screen time. She gets all this fucking screen time in the original and in this one, and her powers have not gotten any stronger. She can't do shit with it except make pretty fireworks, but they don't do shit.
Episode
She's
4 with
favorite.
She's
Mojo.
not. Episode 4 with her, Mojo, and Sunspot, that can go to fucking hell. Like,
right.
I was half asleep watching that bullshit.
All right, so I think that should cover the negatives. I'm trying to see.
No. I have one more negative. I have one more negative. There was a literal asteroid heading for Earth that was going to decimate the entire city. They showed multiple heroes that could have helped. What the fuck were they doing? What were they doing? Like, why was Iron Man just sitting there like, damn, like, shh. Oh well, I guess it's my time. Like, why was King T'Chaka with the whole army of vibranium soldiers and technology just sitting there like, well, fuck these niggas. Well, Wakanda gonna be okay. Like, damn, like, Jesus. Somebody could have helped. That's all. That's my last negative. Sorry.
Okay, so I think that covers the negatives of how I feel about the Bastion thing. The positives, I did like Cable. So it's funny that I don't know shit about Madeline Pryor, but I did know about Cable, including his powers and how the fact that he does have Jean's powers as well, like all of them, but he can't really use the telekinesis and anything, her powers, because the abilities he has from her subconsciously have to be used to keep the virus in check or it'll kill him.
Great call.
So I like having him in there, and especially the part where he said, I came back so many times to that event trying to stop it, but there's one of those points in time where I can't interfere with or whatever. So what had to happen on the island had to happen on the island. And so I was like, all right, that's dope and everything. I like the fight at the end and everything. My favorite part of this whole arc was Charles, shut up. Because I've been waiting to hear that for 20 years. Shut the fuck up, Charles. How many times are you going to say the same shit to this dude over the entire the span of your lifetimes? He done heard it from you how many times? Shut the fuck up and throw hands.
But Charles does have that same speech in like everything that he's in. Like,
every time they have an interaction, there's that same speech. And then the whole at the end when Wolverine stabs him, and he was basically like, yeah, finally somebody got the balls to do something. And then in return, he's like, but watch this, bitch. But overall, one thing I do love about the series as a whole, and especially this season, was all they did was say, damn, Magneto was right the entire fucking time. Which means Killmonger by default was also right. Which means in real life, that means in real life, that means we need to go and just ice everybody that's not black. Is that what that means?
Oh,
that's what the show would have us believe.
Is that what we're supposed to do?
Look at you niggas. Look at you niggas. Oh God.
I mean,
I'm
I
not
totally
rolling.
agree with the whole Magneto thing. I mean, after all he's been through and what he's seen, I mean, it's just a pattern with him. We've seen him try to do the right thing over and over again. We saw it in X-Men Apocalypse. We saw it in this. It's just he gets bitten ass every single time. So I mean, I get his standpoint. That's why I think he's one of the, in my opinion, he's the best comic book villain. In my opinion, he's my favorite in Marvel or DC. So I think he's just so complex, but at the same time so simple. You get it. I
Yeah.
get his anger. I get his hatred.
If you were in his shoes, it'd be hard not to make the decision he makes because, like you said, bro, like this nigga's been through it. So, yeah, I get it.
A long time ago.
I
mean, fuck y'all. I'd have did that in season 2.
I want to talk about what Julian said about the love triangle. I think it's a classic love triangle in comics. I love it. It's between Wolverine, Cyclops, and Jean Grey. I love seeing it. Wolverine be dirty macking to Jean Grey.
He does.
He'd be dirty macking Cyclops anytime you get a chance. You know he's not even in here, right? You know you like Madeline Pryor movie. You don't. Hey, bub. I'm like, Jesus Christ, Wolverine. And I think that first of all, we have to address Scott cheating telepathically. That was the highlight of the show.
That was crazy, yo.
First of all, G put up on that man like, what? What you talking to, nigga?
Yeah,
I love that.
Yeah,
and in fact, like it's been months. Like I don't know if you guys caught that line. He's like, oh, like I've been doing this for months. Like we've been having these sessions. Like that's insane. So can we address that?
Yeah, I mean, what else more is there to say? Yeah, the nigga was cheating telepathically. Yeah.
How can you? I mean, for me though, like, how can you blame him? Because again, none of us know how long Madeline has been subbed out for Jean. This man is in love with her. She done had his child. He was with her for the birth of him. Everything. Like, you can't sit there and be like, oh no, you can't talk to her no more. Are you cheating and all this? You can't like. I don't think you can really be mad at the man.
That's
like,
my baby mama, bitch.
Right? Like,
I love her.
I thought she was you. She is you. She is you, and she had my child. I've been up in them walls. Come on,
God.
Pastor Mike.
Let's just be real. I've been up in them walls. All right, I left the nuts hanging, cream pie, and 9 months later, we had my son. Okay,
all right,
my baby.
Guys, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Jesus Christ! Oh man. Go ahead, Monty.
No, I was gonna say, did you guys catch The Watcher in the Stars? And like, I don't know if it's episode 4 or 5.
No, I didn't catch that shit. But again, if you go back and fast forward to 22, shut the fuck up.
First of all, stop being mad at fan culture, bitch.
I am. I hate y'all niggas.
We have yet to address that Charles Xavier was fucking alive the whole time. I mean, nigga left Earth for simplicity, basically. Can we address this? Like, that was nuts.
I feel like that kind of went nowhere.
Another comic storyline. I'm sorry, go ahead.
I feel like that kind of went nowhere, and I'm kind of waiting for the other shoe to drop on that because obviously it's not over. So I don't know. I really don't want to say too much about it because they gave us like a little taste of it, and then he was out. So I don't know.
You went the whole low, huh?
You're you're funny.
And of course, did you guys catch when Deathbird called the Milky Way galaxy ghetto? That was also a highlight on Twitter.
Yeah. Bro, the way they talk down upon Earth and the Milky Way galaxy, like, bro, this is like y'all, this is a South Side. Like, we don't go down there. Nigga,
Zone 7.
We from Forsyth County. You want us to go down to East Point?
Real Georgia reference.
Yeah. That's nuts.
Yeah. Also, I think it's a really cool. The scene when Storm got her powers back was really, really cool to me.
How did she get her powers back?
I actually have no idea, to be honest.
I'm about to say, like, did she get them back just from believing? Like,
Forge has something to do with it, but he has no kind of magical powers. He's just like a technopath.
Yeah, but remember his tech thing. He said it should have worked to fix her powers because he basically reverse engineered the gun, and then afterwards it didn't. So I guess maybe there was like a mental block in there somewhere, and then that nightmare creature or whatever going through all that helped her overcome it or something. Bro, it didn't make no damn sense. All right,
they did a very poor job of explaining that. If that's what happened.
But, I was just like, oh, she got it back now. Good, okay.
Basically, yeah.
I don't know how her suit magically changed just from her getting her powers. She went from the white classic suit to the black suit.
Hey, bro,
Hair
I ain't gonna lie
too.
though. They also happy she got rid of that damn mohawk. I know that's a comic run where she has the mohawk, but that shit is ugly as fuck. I want bad bitch Storm. Okay, I don't want punk rock.
Oh yeah.
I don't want punk rock Storm. So
Okay.
Omega level body.
right? And but I think it's really cool though that the creators of the show actually said that her first flight sequence was kind of modeled after the first flight in Man of Steel, which is just a really really cool kind of tidbit there, which I love that. So yeah.
Yeah, man. Great shit in here. You can tell that fans of not just the OG series, but fans of the comic books, the story, the movies and everything, even them digging at what did you think the suits are going to be black leather? Ha ha ha. Like it's just you can tell that fans really made this shit. It's going to be interesting to see how we move forward at Bo DeMaio though, because yeah.
Well, apparently he still wrote season 2 though, so they're going to take his writings, but which is still lame. Like, yeah, I mean, right?
Oh, so we're just gonna take somebody else's work? Okay, yeah.
I guess as long as he gets paid, he doesn't care.
That freak is talented. Also, it was very funny when they found they found Emma Frost in the rubble in Genosha, and she was like, she used like her diamond form for the first time, and she was like, "I've always done well under pressure." I'm like, bitch, you thought you ate that, didn't you?
She was under the rubble rehearsing that line for when she got rescued.
Sitting there waiting.
What do I say? What's going to be really cool to say?
Nah.
Yeah. But I mean, like speaking of Emma Frost, though, like what other characters do you guys want to see? Because she's also like a mainstay in the comics. Like, what other characters in the next season do you guys really want to see? Mine's Iceman. I know he appeared in the classic one for a little bit, but I want him to be like a mainstay. I love Iceman or Colossus. How about you guys?
This is gonna sound really fucking stupid, like it is, but like I miss like Kitty, like I miss Shadowcat.
Yeah, I love Shadowcat. Yeah,
like I would totally take her over Jubilee.
My gosh, all the Jubilee hate you guys. Come on,
she's
literally like any of the female X-Men over Jubilee.
Yeah. Okay.
God.
Yeah.
I like Jubilee. She's the audience conduit into this world, you know.
Is she?
Okay.
Mike, I mean, I have an idea who Mike wants to see in the next season, but what mutant do you want to see in the next season?
Like, so
does his name start with an S and rhyme with Abertooth, nigga?
It's actually two mutants. All right.
Okay.
So one, the thing that I've been talking to my brothers about this whole time is exactly what Monty said. I want to see Iceman. Like we've seen all their OGs. I want to see Iceman back for real. But I kind of understand why they didn't, because by the end of Iceman, before he leaves X-Men, his Omega powers got so strong that he can go absolute zero and make the environment around him do the same. So he's, by definition, kind of too broken to have brought back yet. I understand that. Now, the second person, yes, I want to see Sabretooth, especially with Wolverine now. Let me get a dog fight.
Oh, man. I'm sure we're going to get that. And, I'm sure that they've heard maybe it's only me that cares.
I need to start writing them, don't I? I want to see an episode of just hands and hands and grunting.
Oh my God!
Like no hands and growling, no words. Like we're not talking. It's on site, and we just throwing down.
You want 30 minutes of that, Mike?
Yes. 40.
Me too, goddammit. Me too, bitch.
Oh goodness.
It's actually funny too. The X-Men creators said, they apparently they were banned from using the character Deadpool in the series. They tried to use him apparently, and they said no. I wonder if that's because he's maybe too fourth wall breaking, and they wanted to show they had this sense of like realism. I don't know, but that was just an interesting tidbit. And yeah, for those who don't know, guys, Iceman is actually broke. He's like Flash now in the comics. He's so broken. Like his Omega level abilities are just like you can't do anything with Iceman. Like he's that nigga. So I don't know if guys knew that. Also, Sunspot was somebody as well that I thought is really cool in the comics, but he wasn't this cool. He wasn't that cool in this series to me. I don't know if you guys have heard about the Sunspot controversy that's been going on about his race. Like, so he is actually like, in the comics, he's like Afro Latino. He looks like a black guy, like like he's Brazilian, but there's like Brazilians who look like me and Mike, in Brazil. So in the comics, I mean, in this show, they were like, oh, he's whitewashed in this show. His voice actor design was to be like ambiguously brown, and so that was like a really point of contention online. People were like, why is he like, like they even said like his power, like how they came out in the comics is even different. They were like, it's because he was like anti-black hate crime in the comics, so that's how his powers were activated. And in this, like they just tried to erase everything about his character. So I'm not too familiar about Sunspot in the comics. I mean, I read some of their stuff with him in it, but I know that fans of Sunspot were just really, really mad that he didn't get that appropriate representation. So did you guys
Okay,
care
so
about that at all?
all fucking 12 of you that know.
I was
who
about to say,
Sunspot
fans of who?
was, like, right?
Fans of who?
Hey,
If
fans of
y'all
who is
get y'all,
fans of who is crazy.
No,
Come
it's
on,
not.
now.
Nigga, you talking about
if y'all get y'all oversensitive
Sunspot?
asses about a side character that don't get no screen time or comic time,
Oh
up
my
out of here.
God. Oh my, y'all
Some
are
B
the
rank
worst.
hero, y'all
That's
get y'all
just
asses up
crazy.
out of here about the accuracy.
Crazy.
He is.
Y'all are-
They still made him Afro Latino. Y'all getting made because he ain't purple. Like, come on.
But, I mean, Mike. But to their credit, he did not look Afro Latino. He just looked like
Mexican.
He looked.
Hispanic. Yeah.
You can take that as Afro. He did look. All right, I'm not gonna lie. He did look like Central American.
Central
Niggas
American.
from,
What?
niggas from Honduras.
He did look Central American. He looked kind of Aztec the way they did. They didn't make him look like, he was like black.
Aztec?
Afro-Latino.
Are they
Yeah,
extinct?
like- Hey man, what you think all these Mexican people got going through their bloods? The ones that's dark.
Oh,
That's
man.
true. That's
That's
true,
got
I
all the
guess.
Aztec. You got the
That's
ones that's
true.
got the Aztec and the Maya, and the ones that's got all the Spanish conquistador that look white.
That's true. and Julian, your whole Wolverine point, I thought they kind of rectified that a little bit in episode 8 when he went berserk on them Sentinels. That was crazy. And then we had the whole Nightcrawler moment where we get to see Wolverine get transported through Nightcrawler's POV. Through Wolverine's POV. That was super dope, right?
That's not good enough for Wolverine.
Mike, come on, agree. That was dope, right? When
was
Nightcrawler
dope.
transported
It was
him
a
and
cool
we saw
moment.
Wolverine.
It was a cool moment,
Bro,
but that's
I
not
think
good
that
enough for
was-
Wolverine.
I think that was a Nightcrawler moment, though.
Exactly.
Yeah, that was
But-
a
but-
Nightcrawler.
but even
And that
before that,
same
when he was
scene
going
is
to the
when
air-
Nightcrawler decided to get the 3 swords and use his tail, and it was like, oh yeah, badass Nightcrawler. Let's get some, throw some hands.
Mhm.
But that wasn't really a Wolverine. Bro, they made Wolverine take a backseat the entire season. They had him
agree.
do one cool thing, and then he got brutally punished for it.
Yeah.
I agree. I think it was cool seeing the Summers clan come together, like the mom, dad, and son. When they all fought, against the Sentinels, that was really cool. I mean, bro, Summers are a really powerful family, bro. With Havoc, Scott's
Yeah.
dad, Vulcan, like that's a powerful ass family, bro.
I'm
Madeline
glad you
Pryor,
mentioned the
Jean.
family. I have one more negative.
Uh-oh.
Go ahead.
Fuck the way Cable was treating Scott. Sitting here acting like,
Bruh.
oh man, like giving him the cold shoulder and acting all mad. Oh, now you want to parent me? Bitch, I saved your life. I
Mike,
did all I could do. What you mean?
Mike, context
You're blaming
matters.
the wrong person. Go throw hands with Sinister. All right, I'm done now.
Mike, it's easy. First of all, this is why I love Mike on the pod, by the way. Second of all, he grew up in a war torn world with no father. So of course it's easy for us on the outside looking in to say that, but like, he thinks that Cyclops
But he grew
abandoned
up,
him.
right?
He thinks his dad abandoned him. He has no idea his dad sent him with Bishop so that way he can get that virus cured and stuff like that. He has no idea.
But he grew up though.
Okay, Mike. Okay. I mean, I don't know.
They didn't think they thought he had minutes to live while he was still here.
Oh God.
Okay.
All right, look, guys. We're going long. This
Yeah,
is
we
a
are.
great pod. Okay, great pod. We sit
Wait,
here and argue for another hour. All right, go
I
ahead.
have a last question though. Which series was better to you guys, X-Men 97 or Invincible season 2 that we just got in terms of like the both animated superhero series?
X-Men 97. I don't think it's close.
I'm going Invincible 2. I think it is close. Invincible season 2. I think it is close. Mike.
Mm-mm.
Stop it. You're playing with me. Hold on.
What?
Hey, yo.
Pause. No diddler.
Yeah, Julian says it's not close. I mean, I think it's definitely an argument either way.
I think it's very close, which is why it's hard for me to make up my mind on which one it is right now.
It's just my opinion. Jesus Christ.
I
but not close.
Yeah, that's my opinion.
no, I do think it's X-Men 97.
Okay.
I think it's very close, but I think it's X-Men. And the reason I can say that right now is they didn't end too far apart from each other. But I can only remember like half of Invincible.
Season 2?
I can only remember like half of Invincible. It was a lot of talking going on. And I get it, you got to provide backstory and context. It was a lot of talking going on. It was a lot of hands in X-Men.
There's a lot.
Okay.
I'm about to get mad. Okay.
Guys,
Like
Like I said, I think
Answer
it
the
was,
question.
I think it was very close. I'm not saying it was a blowout.
answer the question in the comments, guys. Leave a like, comment under the video. Which had a better season, Invincible season 2 or X-Men 97 season 1? Guys, thank you so much for this amazing pod. Thank you.
Thank you guys. Thank you.